Okay, Dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Many of you have asked me this a while ago, and that is what packs are worth buying. Well, hopefully it's not too late. I'm sure those who already wanted to whale would have bought out everything anyway, so this is really probably for light spenders. And if you find spending on a PC client not very convenient, then give LD Player a shot. LD Player, being a free Android emulator, lets you make purchases with ease via your Google Play account, while also letting you play mobile games on your PC with your mouse and keyboard. It has a wide variety of popular games while ensuring excellent performance for an enhanced Android gaming experience. Not only is spending easy, but LD Multiplayer has also made re-rolling for the right heroes easy too by letting you sync all these instances at once. So download LD Player from the link below today. Before we get into actual packs, I want to revisit the key bundles A, B, and yes, C. Just to refresh your memory, Package A contains 20 key bundles, each worth 50 rubies. Package B consists of 50 key bundles, each worth 80 rubies. Package C consists of 50 key bundles also, but each worth 100 rubies. I didn't talk about Package C in my farming video because it didn't really make much sense, but it seems like many players did have some interest in its value. So let me clarify something about Package B first. When I said that your overall net profit for the day will still be positive, I referred to the total profit after considering free keys plus the Package A and the Package B. For F2Ps, buying Package B itself, you will realize that there will always be a loss of rubies, but this loss is made up for by the rubies from the free keys and the Package A. You will only break even by farming in Event Stage 6. So should you not buy Package B? I would still say no, because you still want the keys for the gold and account growth regardless, and as long as your free keys and Package A keys are used for farming, you can still profit from those. So I would still recommend free-to-plays to buy Package B from Area 11 or 14 onwards, depending on how much loss you can take, but at these areas the loss is a lot lesser, and net profit is still visibly present. For light spenders, you break even upon reaching area 14. Any earlier, your profits will be lesser. So I would say start buying from area 8 or 11 onwards for more experience and gold and progression while minimizing losses. And then for Package C, this honestly is not that great because it will always eat into your profits and you may end up making actual losses even with the free keys. The only possible time you may have a net profit is if you are a light spender and you also use all these keys fully for farming from area 14 onwards. Still lose rubies, but free keys and Package A will make up for the loss. And with that, let's move on to packs. For the sake of this video, I will value all key bundles which have 60 keys as 80 rubies worth, because assuming you farm at the best areas like Event Stage 6, 60 keys will be exactly the amount of keys needed to level up 4 fodders consecutively, and that gives you 80 rubies. I will also use the term ruby to dollar ratio to measure how worth is a pack. The higher the ratio, the more valuable and worth spending on. I will not be covering those time-limited special packs that pop up because it is hard to keep track of those. Okay, first off, we have the subscription packs. Honestly, all three are very worth to get for the price they are worth. Eleanor's Blessing seems to be the most unnecessary one if you are hardworking and can log into the game frequently, but if not, this is very worth it as it can let you auto-farm for long periods in the day and overnight, making sure that your key bundles are well spent. The daily ruby support is just too important to increase farming efficiency. I don't think I need to further elaborate on it, but looking at the rubies you gain in 28 days, that's about 5,600 rubies, and if you divide it by the cost, you will realize that this is a very high ruby to dollar ratio. Daily power-up support also has a very high ruby to dollar ratio, even higher than the daily ruby support subscription, because first it gives you 10 summon tickets, that is already worth 1,000 rubies, and then a total of 2,240 keys in 28 days. Remember I said that every 60 keys are worth 80 rubies, so this amount of keys is equivalent to about 3,000 rubies in that sense. In total, this pack gives you 4,000 rubies at a lower price than the daily ruby support. Then if you are a very new player, you have a welcome greeting pack, which I think will disappear after you make a first purchase. I'm not too sure because this is no longer visible on my side. This pack, priced at 1 USD, has a very high ruby to dollar ratio because it is about 1050 rubies worth 1 USD. Then we have this next section, so you will have the starter special pack. All three do have above average ruby to dollar ratio, so if you intend to buy all three, it wouldn't be a terrible investment. The most important one goes to the cheapest pack, which is worth 1290 rubies for as low as 1 USD. It is indeed a massive value pack as they have wrote over here. Then we have the growth special packs excluding the free pack. The one with the highest ruby to dollar ratio here would be pack number 2 with 1000 rupees and 5 key bundles. The other two, while they have high number of rubies, it's a little tricky to value because there are other materials, and especially since there is a rare brilliant enhancement stone here. So these two will be quite subjective, but I would say that the brilliant enhancement stone is definitely more valuable than the elements in the long run. Next will be the rate up summon packs. As you can see, there is a countdown shorter than the other packs. This is because the packs are currently on special launch discount, making their ruby to dollar ratio higher than average. If you look at this screenshot, you can see that for the same price currently compared to the potential future adjustment, you are getting more summon tickets now for the same price. So I would say that the ruby to dollar ratio is definitely better now versus after these remaining days where it just becomes average and definitely not as worth. Again, there's another brilliant skill enhancement stone here, but in terms of rubies, it has the lowest ruby to dollar ratio. So it really depends on how much you value the brilliant skill enhancement stone. Similarly to the pet summon pack, it is exactly the same as the rate up summon packs except that the last pack has no brilliant skill enhancement stone. So take note that 10 pet tickets do equate to also 1000 rubies. Next we have the time limited packs. Again, if you are a new player or hasn't spent that much, what you will see is only 3 time limited packs. Only the summon combo pack is special because you can only buy it once per account. It also has an insane ruby to dollar ratio considering there's about 2000 rubies worth of summons here for a very low price. I believe that after purchasing something, the other time limited packs unlock themselves. So with this, the next 3 that are the most valuable would be the monthly summon pack, the monthly legendary 8 pack, and the monthly key bundle pack. These 3 have very high ruby to dollar ratio. The monthly summon pack itself is worth 3500 rupees for a relatively low price, while the key bundle is worth 14,650 rupees itself. And then we have the legendary 8. If we consider that a legendary pet is worth 10,000 rupees, because if you were to hit the PT in the pet summon banner, it is gonna cost you 10,000 rupees, then this pack is already of huge value, almost on the same level as the monthly summon pack. Of course, this is highly dependent on how you view the value of pets as well, because pets are not that easy to grow. There are also 2 packs here with skill enhancement stones. Their actual ruby to dollar ratio is very low, but again, having the brilliant skill enhancement stone could be seen as higher value for some people to consider buying. The other packs here honestly just have very average ruby to dollar ratio, which I consider not worth buying. Then the daily shop. First up, if we see these packs individually, they all have bad ruby to dollar ratio. Really low. However, you do get a legendary hero at the end of every 7 days. So assuming you buy the cheapest pack here, the daily power pack, which seems to be at 1 USD for 7 days, you get 350 rupees, 7 key bundles, which is equal to 560 rupees, and 1 legendary hero. So if you think about it, a legendary hero is technically worth 10,000 rupees. So this 7-day purchase actually has the second highest ruby to dollar ratio in the game, making it insanely worth buying daily. The daily key pack about 5 times the cost of the daily power pack with 5 times the rubies given, but actually has lesser relative key bundles. So this makes it have lesser ruby to dollar ratio, but still very high and above average considering that there's a legendary hero at the end. Next up is the ruby shop. So all these are very easy for you to calculate. Just take the ruby amount divided by the currency you're paying in to get an idea. you will come to realize that the ruby to dollar ratio here is very bad. In fact, the worst. These are totally not worth buying compared to all the other packs we have seen. Of course, it only gives rubies and no other perks, so don't expect it to be on an equivalent value as the special packs. And I think most games always have these kind of packs so that their special packs look amazing, so don't buy this. Next up, we have the passes. I will go through this briefly and just say what's worth and what's not, because these passes offer too many things aside from rubies, some offering more key bundles than others, so you just need to decide what is more valuable for you. The 7k pass. This plus pass is super worth it. It's about 7,200 rubies worth of summons here and 10 key bundles, so definitely a good buy. Premium Pass is essentially paying double for 1 brilliant enhancement stone, so this is something you really need to consider whether paying double the price is worth 1 stone. Adventure Pass contains many random things, but they all have a very premium reward at the end, and that is either a legendary hero or a legendary pet. As we already established that a random legendary hero and pet are both worth 10,000 rubies at least, this makes Adventure Pass 1 have the highest ruby to dollar ratio, having insane value for its price. Adventure Pass 2 and 3 are both pretty similar in value, and both are still very high and way above average ruby to dollar ratio, though not as high as Pass 1. The Nightmare Pass is just a little lower in ruby to dollar ratio, but still considerably way above average, and with the L plus hero taken into account at the end, the whole pass is worth almost about 20,000 rubies itself, including the 25 key bundles. Next up, we have the relays. Again, all the relays have above average ruby to dollar ratio. How this was calculated was taking in consideration of not just the step you are buying, but also the next free step, since this is a step-by-step purchase. So it technically makes your money more well spent than it seems. But assuming you want to compare between the average value of each relay, I will rate the Rate Up Hero Summon Relay as the best, followed by the Growth Relay, and lastly the Pet Summon Relay. Lastly, I want to talk about the premium paid currency called Prisms. If you spend enough in-game, you will actually see a Prism price equivalent beside each pack's cash price. I actually deep dived into this, did some math behind the scenes to calculate whether it is more worth spending in cash or buying Prisms with cash and then spending the Prism in-game conveniently. Based on the math, it is definitely cheaper to use Prisms to pay for packs. But something to take note when you intend to buy the Prism packs from the web shop is that you need to check the Prism to dollar ratio. I used my VPN to check across many currencies, and I realized that in certain currencies, the second most expensive pack with 718 Prisms could actually be more worth it for you. For example, I checked in USD, Euro, Singaporean dollars, Indonesian rupiah, UK pounds. The pack selling 718 Prisms actually has a better value compared to the 990 Prism. For every dollar spent in your currency, you actually can get more Prisms with that pack. Only a very small amount of currencies see a very tiny increase in value with the 990 Prism pack. And when I mean tiny, I really mean like 0.01 Prism difference, like Japanese yen. So with that said, assuming you bought the second most expensive pack of 718 Prisms, with the maximum Prism to dollar ratio, every pack you buy in-game with Prisms will be cheaper than its actual cash value you see in-game. Of course, the more expensive the pack you buy, the closer the value to its real cash price. So using Prism to buy many low-costing packs actually lets you save more money. So that's the conclusion you spenders should take away from this video, okay? So that's all I have for this packs video, and I hope you know where to put your money's worth now in this game. I should probably make a pack tier list on the spreadsheet as well. Hopefully Netmarble doesn't cancel me before the content creators program. And if you found this video helpful, do give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much and see you!